Welcome Niagara Ironbacks baseball. This is Darren Clark. I'm here with Jesse Segman and our producer Zach on a steamy late June evening at beautiful George Taylor Field, deep in the heart of the place where dreams come true, Merritton, Ontario. As the Ironbacks host from the furniture capital of the world, the birthplace of the voting machine, the infield tarp, and the crescent wrench, the self-anointed pearl of the New York State, Jamestown. Yes, the Ironbacks are hosting the Jamestown Tarp Skunks for the first time. Jesse, how would you characterize your knowledge of Tarp Skunks? Not so much the team as a mythical entity the team is named after.
I'm going to say I have no knowledge of a tarp skunk, quite frankly.
No knowledge. Well, you know what we're going to do tonight? We're going to get educated
I
on
love it.
tarps, on skunks, on tarp skunks, as well as Jamestown. We'll turn it over to our PA guy who's doing the announcements of the lineups now. We have the national anthems coming up. Then we'll come back and then we'll chat a little bit more about the matchup we're about to see.
Sounds good.
And now, fans, get
Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Niagara Ironbacks. Jamestown's 9-9, placing them 6th in the PGCL West, while Niagara sits at 2-13, putting them last in the West, just behind Geneva. Jamestown's record, though, doesn't seem to align with how good their stats have been, Jesse.
No, not at all. They've got some big bats in the lineup today. I think the Ironbacks are going to be in tough with at least their 1-5 hitters. I mean, they're high in the league ranks with slugging percentage and on-base percentage and batting average, extra base hits. So I think the key to victory for the Ironbacks would try to limit the base runners, so some of that damage could be put up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's wild, right? Jamestown is second league in batting average, first in slugging. Their ERA sits at 5.16, which doesn't sound that great to the average baseball year, but it's 6th in the league. So it feels a little unjust where they're at, whereas if you look at the bottom line stats for the Ironbacks, it feels like they're pretty much where you would expect them based
I think so. Inaugural season, going through some hiccups here, I think, right? So, the key to victory for them as well is limit the base runners, focus on defense. I think the defense has been letting them down a little bit the last couple games here. Especially last night's game, they had opportunities in that game, but the defense kind of let them down to some degree and just kept those innings alive and got those runs on the board there.
Yeah, and for Niagara tonight, we have Ethan Catney Forbes on the mound. We've seen him a couple times here. He started opening day. His second start was a little bit better. He's 0-2. He has an ERA of 7.15 and 11 1/3 innings for Niagara. So we'll be looking for a good start from him. You can always see the possibility with Ethan Catney Forbes, and we're hoping to see those possibilities realized here tonight against a really tough lineup. But, it's been sobering, I think, the last week for Niagara. That
Absolutely.
You're playing teams with a lot of returning players who have an established core and have a pipeline that's been cultivated over time to keep serving them new players. And that's where Niagara has to get to.
100%, and I think they will. It's the first year of the season in the Perfect Game League, and just take some time, right? Up first here for the Tarp Skunks, we got Nolan Smith playing first base, batting .328 on the season. First pitch, just a little outside there for Catney Forbes. Ball 1.
Smith at a Cannon University. His hometown is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as a lot of these players are from Jamestown.
Inside for ball 2. It's a poke up the middle. Grabbed by Shin for the first out.
This play busted him in on the hands. That works.
That's a good start.
Yeah, the challenge seems like for the Ironbacks is to stay away from that big inning where, all kinds of different bad things happen.
That's it. And they're getting down 2 outs in the inning, almost out of there, and they just first pitch strike.
That's
Jacob Haynes, the extra hitter today for the Tarp Skunks.
It's the kind of delivery you want to see. Just look nice and loose.
Down low for ball 2. Or ball 1, sorry. Just set up play there, and our favorite siren alerts us.
Good old foul ball horn. Haynes out of Claridge, Pennsylvania. Attended Penn Trafford High School. She had a really nice year for Seton Hill. Played in 54 games, hit .281, .557 slugging, 12 home runs.
Counts 2-2 here with just the ball outside.
It's been real good for Jamestown too, right? 6 doubles, triple home run, hitting .362. That's not bad.
poke to the third base side, just under the glove of Gaydens. That's going to be a base hit for Haynes.
Yeah, I think Granger would like another chance at that one. That seemed to get through him.
I think so. I don't know if we can blame the hops there in the infield.
No, those are true hops.
That's what I was talking about with on the top of the show there, is the first 5 hitters in this Tarp Skunks lineup are just deadly.
Yeah, here Bremer batting .385, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and just 65 at bats. Yeah, that's a serious opening stanza.
Just a runner. Gets him in a rundown here. Caught Haynes sleeping off of first base. That's a great play for the second out.
That was a really simple, clean rundown.
That's right.
That's the first one we have ever seen.
Well, we've seen Catney Forbes struggle with runners on base, too, so that was a nice, simple play there to get the second out of the inning.
And, yeah, you really don't want runners on base when Bremer comes up. Bremer out of Canisius College from Twinsburg, Ohio. 4 home runs and 57 at-bats for Canisius.
He's got some pop. Ooh, just fouls that one off. Counts 1-1.
Did you know, Jesse, that Jamestown is a place where infield tarp was actually invented?
Interesting.
It's a true story all about Jamestown and tarp.
Is that maybe a segue to the Tarp Skunks name?
Yeah, because apparently it's sort of a thing where every once in a while they'll actually find a skunk in a tarp. It's kind of an ongoing local legend. You could probably have better legends than skunks and tarps, but, you know, Merman has something to pass along. You don't have a tarp. Yeah, exactly. Here we don't have tarps, just to avoid skunks.
It's a smart play. Niagara's littered with skunks, and that's a strike 3 call on Bremer. Great pitch there by Catney Forbes. That's
nice.
The end of the inning there. We're going to the bottom of the first. Hey, welcome back. We're here for the bottom of the first inning. We got Carter Shin leading off for the Ironbacks.
Easton Barnett on the mound for your Jamestown Tarp Skunks. He's out of Lincoln Memorial University, born in Smyrna, Tennessee. He's got 19 appearances, 28 innings pitched, 2.89 ERA. I hope it's Tennessee. It's the abbreviation is TN, and I find American abbreviations sometimes aren't what I would expect them to be.
We'll do a little study for you later. That thing gets into the hands there. First pitch. That's going to be an out for Carter Shin. Ground to first base. Brock Granger coming up. He's back playing third base today, batting .235. He did hit the first home run in Ironbacks history last night, Darren.
Did he? Or did Connor Gatens do it?
You're right, Connor Gatens.
It was a guy whose last name starts with a G.
My mistake. I was excited to say the first home run in Ironbacks history, and I just got a little ahead of myself.
Well, you'll get your chance. He'll be up soon.
It's in there for a strike 2 call to Brock Granger.
Just at the top of the zone there.
Strike 3 call on Granger on 3 straight pitches.
Chase that one a little bit. It was a good pitch. That's a good 0-2 pitch.
Designated hitter number 15, Marcus Butts.
Marcus Butts coming to the plate, batting .343, playing DH today for the Ironbacks. Pitch gets away from the catcher. Ball 1. Hot shot to third base there. Nice play by Brady Marshall for the third out. 1-2-3 go the Ironbacks. 0-0 here going to the top of the second. Hey, welcome back here for the top of the second inning. We got a 0-0 score between the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and the Niagara Ironbacks. We got Nathan Borchardt coming up here for the Tarp Skunks, batting DH today, hitting .300 on the season. Darren, what can you tell me about Borchardt?
Well, he's from plays at King University, out of Stanley, North Carolina, member of the National Honor Society, so does better tests than you and I do. Plans to major in psychology.
It's a first pitch swinging to left field. Briggs under it for the out. Let's bring in Brady McGuire to the plate. Shortstop at .333.
Another player out of his hometown is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Great spot to go watch a baseball game.
Love that stadium. Love that stadium.
Beautiful. Right on the water. Bridges are awesome.
The drive back to Niagara, not so much.
You know what, though? I don't mind it.
You weren't doing the driving.
Right. Exactly. That was carefully planned.
Drive to center field. Hubble's under it.
Wow, the scheme is flying by. I better mention the Desi and Lucy Museum in Jamestown quick before this game's over. We're going to talk about Jamestown. Lucille Ball. park that they actually play at in Jamestown is been there since 1941. It's part of the Pony League now. Then it moved towards the New York Penn League. It's actually had some pretty special players over time. In 1944, which was actually the year that Lucille Ball filed for divorce from Desi Arnaz. I won't, apparently he had some drinking problems. She ended up actually rescinding that request. But that was 16-year-old Nellie Fox, future Hall of Famer, played in Jamestown.
Interesting.
Throughout the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, it would bounced around between different organizations. You had great expos, like Larry Parrish played in Jamestown.
Nice.
Randy Big Unit Johnson
Ooh.
played in Jamestown. They've had
Big
some
unit.
players. Everybody's favorite chain-smoking Major League manager, Jim Leyland, played there. That was in 1965. Great Canadian reliever. We were talking about the Canadian Hall of Fame there at St. Mary's. I'm sure that John Hiller's in there. Lefty reliever. Played for the Tigers, amongst other teams. So, yeah, Gary Renicky, Dwight Dewey Evans. I don't know. Matt Steris, New Brunswick's own.
Matt
Steris
Steris.
played in Jamestown, man.
Wow. Former Blue Jay. Matt
More
Steris.
managers. We talked about Jim Leyland. Dave Roberts played there. Gabe Kapler played there.
Wow.
Yeah. And your favorite, Jesse, your favorite fantasy baseball player ever, the legendary Chris Volstad.
Oh, I was going to say Ferradno Rodney, but
Played,
I'll go with Chris Volstad,
That
too.
was with the Miami, because it was like Miami, Pittsburgh, Expos. It bounced around a lot. Giancarlo Stanton played there.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
Marcelo
big name,
Zuna, Marcana, Adam Frazier.
Nice. Yeah.
That's a
Frazier.
pretty darn good lineup.
We got Brady Marshall up here for the Tarp Skunks. The count's 2-2 currently right now.
Big chance here for Cadney Forbes.
Another foul ball there. No siren. Unsure if it's in play or not.
Plays for the Kent State Golden Flashes out of Worcester, Ohio. Golden Flashes. I don't know. As a name, what do you think?
It's better. I'll give it an okay. I'll give it a. it's-
Golden Flash. Full count. I just don't know what a Golden Flash like. It's just eating at me.
Well,
Maybe it's new to me.
What's
It's a
the-
new thing to me. I've got to take
what's
some
the Tarp
time to
Skunk?
absorb it, marinate in the Golden Flash. I shouldn't just outwardly reject new things like that.
well, that's a hot shot to left field for a base hit. Marshall gets aboard with 2 out here in the top of the second.
It's a good at bat. Made him work. Saw a lot of pitches. And you notice with the teams like Batavia was very similar. Like pro hitters, like men at the plate.
Just waiting for their pitch, sitting on it, right? Making them throw something they want to hit.
Right. Fighting off the stuff they can't do much with. Waiting, getting to see those pitchers getting used to it. Finding one they like and line drive, just like that.
That's right. It was an unfortunate because Catney Forbes is humming along here. It's going to be a lazy fly ball in the infield.
He's got his hum back.
Andrew Bishop playing second base today under it for the 3rd out. Score still 0-0. We go to the bottom of the second.
Yeah, I should bring her there sometime.
Hey, we're back here for the bottom of the second inning. We got Alex Keene coming up to plate. He's playing first base today, batting .304.
First baseman number 25, Alex Keene.
Keene coming up, following up the great keg rolling tragedy where someone decided to pick up the keg.
Yeah, he must have forgot it was a roll,
Right,
not a
it's-
pickup. Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen that. That's creative, though. That's creativity.
Still lost. Strike one into Keene. You typically see Keene play in right field, so he's at first base today for the Ironbacks.
Which is his natural position. I think he's actually looked good in right field.
He has. He
Yeah.
has. He actually pitched yesterday for the Ironbacks. Ooh. Strike
through
two
that.
there on Keene.
Barnett looking pretty good so far here in the early going. Had 19 appearances for Lincoln Memorial University, 28 innings pitched, 2.89 ERA.
So foul tip for
Burrs.
the out there. Keene goes down on 3 pitches. That's going to bring
Number 11, Connor Gayton.
the real individual who hit the first home run in Ironbacks history, Connor Gatens, up to the plate today.
Yep. You didn't have quite the same zip you had there for Brock Granger.
Well,
You know. But I understand. It's tough.
it's hard to get excited a second time. It's like looking at Christmas presents, knowing what you're getting, and then open them on Christmas morning. You already
Right.
know you got this.
Exactly. It's like, hold on, those are the wrong presents.
Foul on Gatens there. Brings the count 1-1.
Keaton's hitting 269, 2 doubles, 1 home run, as Jesse mentioned. Not quite as enthusiastically as the time he mentioned it for Brock Granger, but he still mentioned it.
And another hot shot to outfield. Looking good. Oh, the center fielder makes a dive, but he misses it. That's going to be extra bases for Gatens. He's showing some real power here.
And you know, I think he got that a little bit down in the bat too. Like that's a quarter of an inch away from being.
I was
off
just
the
going to
fence.
say, actually, he wants my excitement to come back. He should hit a home run here, and he almost did.
Right, and you got your home run call ready?
I do not. I got to start practicing, I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Oh, mercy, that was just about really bad. The umpire throwing the ball back to the pitcher while the pitcher was looking into the outfield, perhaps thinking about that diving attempt there.
That's right. Matthew
the umpire
Dumas
missed
almost
him.
had it. Ran it down pretty far to travel there to make that
I actually
catch.
saw the highlight of that the other day. Buster Posey did that one time where the pitcher wasn't looking at him and actually landed right in the pitcher's glove.
You're kidding. That's got to be on a top 10 list somewhere. Andrew
Behind
Bishop
that.
up here playing second base today. He's usually playing first.
Yeah, that was a surprise for us.
That's right. He fouls the first pitch strike off to the left side.
Bishop, ever since he had won that 14 hot dog eating contest, well, it wasn't a 14 hot dog eating. It was a hot dog eating contest.
He was
where
just
he ate
eating hot
14
dogs.
hot dogs, yeah.
Yes.
But it feels like that's really loosened him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And suddenly he's playing second base.
Which is unusual. You think the hot dogs would be slowing you down, not loosening you up.
right.
Just outside for ball 1.
I really still think I really want to see Bishop really get a hold of one.
Yeah, you see it in there. You can really tell he's just a little late on some pitches lately.
It's been like, you're working the antennas and the TV channels coming in and then not quite coming in, and it just feels like he hasn't fully caught the signal yet.
Two and one here on Bishop. Gatens getting a nice lead off of second base.
Nice.
Up the center. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to bring. It'll be close. And he's in there. Backs are on the board. It's 1-0 and an RBI by Andrew Bishop.
Great job by Andrew Bishop
He
there.
got just enough single on that TV set to
Yeah,
cash in a runner.
Exactly. He's got a little tinfoil out, wrapped it around.
Glad no one had to stand on the roof in the windstorm.
This is a nice job. Like 2 strikes, hit it up the middle.
That's right.
That's a little curveball that maybe not the best curveball you ever seen in life, hung up a little bit, and it allowed him to kind of just nice solid poke in the center.
Brings up Grayson Briggs here playing left field. Batting 214, takes first pitch strike.
Briggs, another guy we've been kind of waiting on at the plate a little bit. Some flashes, but
it's a shot to shallow center. Calls for it, makes the catch. Bishop retreats to first base. One out here.
kind of watching Bishop on first base because it feels like at some point in the season, Bishop and Keane got together and were like, we're going to steal bases.
Yeah.
How about that? How about you and I, we start stealing bases?
Throw everybody off.
And it has not thrown the opposition off it as much as they might have hoped at some points.
It's throwing the play-by-play guys off a little bit, I think.
But there was some ambition there, you know.
Devin Medor here playing right field today.
Whoa, that was close at first base. Obviously, the pitcher can hear us. And
Medor's been having a tough go here, batting 175. Ooh.
And that's that swing from Medor that you worry about. It's just like feels like he's bailing out on. And I was over the middle of the plate, and I still feel like this whole left side's flying open.
It's in there in the corner for strike two.
And he was leading off for them for quite a while, right? Looked really sharp. He's always been excellent in the field. You'd like to see him find it at the plate. It still seems like he's a ways from home.
Just misses that one. Foul out.
It's funny though, like having said what I said, like I think of like Ichiro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ichiro pretty much with every at bat he had that.
Right.
You know, his front's kind of flying off, but if you're not Ichiro, it doesn't really work. You know. There's that curveball again. I don't know if he really has like shown us much in the way of like a killer out pitch here.
I was just going to say, not much of an out pitch, right?
Right.
He's got a.
Like you got a chance at 2 strikes.
That's a poke to left field. Herman's under it. That's going to end the inning here, but the Ironbacks get on the board, and it's 1-0 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Hey, welcome back. We're here for the top of the 3rd inning. It is 1-0 Niagara over Jamestown.
I think most importantly, Jesse, it's starting to cool down.
That is definitely important. I'm feeling a breeze in the press box up here, and that is excellent news for us for the next several innings.
It's always great to be at George Taylor Field here in wonderful Merton, Ontario. But yeah, it was stinking hot
It
when
is.
we first got here.
The problem is Niagara has been in a heat wave, so it has not helped us the last
Right.
couple days.
And this press box, oddly enough, no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
it's
Who would have
shocking.
thought?
Yeah. But we do have watermelon, thanks to our PA guy, John. Excellent job, John.
It's a hot shot going out of play. Keane almost get there. It's going to be strike two on Eric Weeks. Second baseman batting .271 on the season for the Tarp Skunks.
He's out of Canisius, another guy out of Canisius College from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Canisius, he hit .229 this year, .398 slugging, had 4 home runs.
A little pop in his bat. Ooh, just fouls that one off. Stays alive.
It's a good little curveball. I think sometimes in the curve it almost feels like the windup is a little too purposeful to not give it away a bit, is the thing. See how it progresses over the course of the game.
Well, it's right at Shin at shortstop. 1 out.
And as good as our PA guy is at bringing watermelon, not so good at predicting where hits are going to go. So,
Catcher number 5, Eddie Delansky.
Eddie Delansky up here for the Tarp Skunks. Catcher today, hit .231. That's a Medora under it in right field. First pitch swinging. It's 2 outs here. Caddy
Ethan.
Forms humming along.
my goodness. It's just a cruise. Where's the buffet? It's something. Just by the way, the Tarp Skunks name, to bring it home a little bit, bring it to life, because I know I alluded to it. The word tarp was chosen because Howard Emke, a Chautauqua County native, is known as the father of the infield tarp.
Huh.
Yeah. It was his manufacturing company that created the very first infield tarp, as I mentioned. And as we alluded to, skunks are the second part of the name because sometimes smelly animals have been known to be found inside the team's home field, Dietrich Park. Dietrich Park's been open actually since 1941, as we mentioned.
Is that skunk thing just unique to their particular field or all fields, do you think?
I think it's this area.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you maybe just go under there for shelter, I guess. Shelter
Yeah.
from the storm, perhaps.
It's got to be it.
Got Matthew Dumas here playing center field for the Tarp Skunks up the bat. Counts 1-1. Just a little outside for ball 2.
Another couple players I missed, and Mel will enjoy this, that actually played in Jamestown in the minor leagues. Ben Ogilvy and Cecil Cooper. So, very fine Brewers hitters.
Shot right to Keene at first base. He's going to make the play himself. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 3rd inning.
My
Ironbacks
goodness.
still lead 1-0. Welcome back, Ironbacks fans. We're here for the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-0 Ironbacks. We got Chase Hubble up to the bat. He's playing center field today, batting .265. Darren, I've been impressed with Hubble in center field.
Yeah, he's been solid. He makes the plays.
He does.
Yeah, which doesn't always happen in the games we see. Just overall, not just our team.
You're right. There has been some questionable plays sometimes. First pitch swinging, shot to right field. Bremer's under it for the first out.
You know, I feel kind of bad. I was looking at, because Hubble is 3 for 7 stolen bases, and I happened to look at Keene and Bishop, since I accused them of conspiring to try to become big base stealers, and it not going well. They're actually 2-2 combined.
Oh,
So that's 50%, pretty much what I passed grade 9 shop with. So who am I to really critique them too hard?
a pass is a pass, right?
Yeah.
Let's Carter shit up for a second at bat. He lined out.
A little better curveball there from Barnett.
Down to third base there. Another nice play by the third baseman for the Tarp Skunks, Brady Marshall, and that's 2 out here.
Now batting, third baseman, number 20, Brock Ranger.
Is it Brady McGuire at third base? Marshall is short? They should keep the Bradys further away from each other, I think.
It's quite possible.
We could take. I could have got it wrong too.
It's quite possible.
Wow, that was fast.
Quick work by Barnett. The score's still 1-0 for the Ironbacks as we go to the top of the fourth.
Is brought to you by
Welcome back. We're here for the top of the fourth inning. It's 1-0 Ironbacks over the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. We're back to the top of the order with Nolan Smith, who
See if Catney Forbes can keep up the good work. It's been tight here from both pitchers, really.
he's been humming along here. Definitely the best start we've seen from Catney Forbes on the season so far.
He's going to be tested again because this top of the order, as you alluded to right off the top of the show here today. Fierce.
Definitely now being the second time coming through the order too. Let's see if they have a little insight on Catney Forbes.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough play. Don't even bother.
It's a tough one there. Smith gets on.
Yeah, and we talked about this infield a million times so far this season. It just eats the ball up, and
It was a smart play. They're not trying to rush the play to first base. You don't want to make anything drastic that could cause you to throw the ball away by over-tossing it or
and
trying to rush a play.
And you know what? It's better than a bunt because everybody's if you square around, everybody starts moving towards that ball. The catcher, the pitcher. But with that, it's a swing.
That's right.
So the catcher's sitting back, the pitcher's back, and it takes you a second to react.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's a pivotal second.
Jacob Haynes up for his second at bat. He singled in the first inning, but then got picked off. Catney Forbes made a great play to first base. Takes his first pitch outside for ball one. Catney Forbes checking on Smith again. Snap throw the first try to get Smith again there. It's 2-0 to Haynes. It's a shot to center field. Hubble's going to be under it. One out here. The top of the fourth inning.
That's big. Avoiding that big inning, which has kind of been their undoing so often.
Definitely.
And you can almost feel like how those one bad innings just kind of cascaded through the remainder of the game. You know, they had trouble kind of shaking off the residue of those tough innings. So hopefully.
And you've played, right? It's got to be hard sometimes. Once you have some of those things keep kind of spiraling and snowballing on top of you, right?
Particularly after the couple of weeks they've had playing some really great lineups. Yeah, everything becomes a little bit heavier.
Yep.
You know?
Justin Bremer up the bat here. Tarp Skunks fouled the first pitch off for strike one.
Yeah, Bremer, as we mentioned, has been a beast this year. Slugging .554 coming into this game.
Lazy pop fly to the second base Bishop for out number 2.
Andrew Bishop looking like a natural there at second base. Like he was born to play the position.
Nathan Beauchard up here, designated hitter for the Tarp Skunks. Flied out to left field in the second inning.
2 years in the NCAA, he's batted .342, .427, .513 slugging percentage, and 396 plate appearances, 12 home runs.
Another batter with a big slugging percentage.
Yeah.
These guys got some power.
These guys can hit, man. It's a real thing.
Ooh, nice pitch by Catney Forbes. I think it's just made this outing by Catney Forbes so effective. Is just taking down the top of the lineup here.
Yeah, throwing a lot of strikes too, making them hit.
Just outside for ball 2.
Let's get a little pep talk from the catcher there. Gayton's chatting him up.
The hands there. Keene makes the play to Catney Forbes for the out.
Sweet.
We get out of the inning again, and still 1-0 Ironbacks. You go to the bottom of the fourth inning. welcome back. We're here for the bottom of the fourth inning. Ironbacks 1, Tarp Skunks nothing. We got Marcus Butts up. He's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to third base at his first at-bat back in the first inning.
Out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Our favorite part of North Dakota. The great relationship between the Ironbacks and Bismarck, North Dakota. It's a fun name to say as well. Attends the University of Mary. Nice take there. That was close.
Let's run the count 2-0 here to Marcus Butts.
He's probably going to be pretty happy because he's a big Pens fan, and Eric Carlson's on the block.
And he just got the back-to-back picks in the draft, too. It's a strike there, 2-1.
Big Sidney Crosby fan.
That's a nice shot to left field, but it looks like it's going to be easily caught by Blake Herman. For one
Another big reaction from our PA guy, but he does get a little overexcited.
I wonder if Marcus Butts is excited for the upcoming draft with Kyle Dubas at the helm.
He's not a Kyle Dubas fan.
No, okay.
We chatted about that.
Did you tell him you weren't either?
I did. We bonded over our shared.
Alex Keene up here. Struck out his first at-bat back in the second inning.
Keene batting 304 coming into the game. Always been a guy that's kind of impressed us with his approach, and you can see him start to blossom a little bit over last week.
Ooh.
Just missed that one again.
It's going to fly out to center field for out number 2. Another guy, like you mentioned, like Bishop, who's just just waiting a little bit, like looking to break out, just not quite there yet.
I feel like the Keene's on it more, though. Like, you could see him just swinging freely. His timing is there. Like, that ball he missed, again, just by an inch.
That's right.
But everything else was there for him.
Connor Gayton's up now. Doubled at his last at-bat. Got the Ironbacks started in the bottom of the second. Another nice shot there. It's going to drop for a base hit. He's 2 for 2 today. First pitch swinging there.
He's looking great today.
It's going to bring the aforementioned Andrew Bishop up here. He singled him with an RBI back in the second inning, bringing Connor Gayton's home.
You know, and I've been lobbying these guys hard about getting some Stompin' Tom Connors on music-wise. And there's Tilson. Where's Connor Gayton's from? Tilsonburg, Ontario.
Another nice shot to left field. That could be trouble. It's going to drop. It's going to be extra bases here. Connor Gayton's goes in standing up to third base. A stand-up double. We got runners aboard at second and third. 2 outs here.
There you go. There you go. And I think that's, we talked about it earlier with Barnett. The thing is, he's not going to make a ton of guys miss.
Right.
Does he have a K tonight? He had 1 in the first. So you're going to get a chance to put the bat in the ball when you get a chance to put the bat in the ball?
Yep. Yeah, he's got a couple strikeouts today, but again, he's really, the Ironbacks really making him work here.
Oh, yeah, he had 1 at the top of the second.
Just going to bring Grayson Briggs up to the plate. Flight out to center field his first at-bat.
It felt like Briggs is really trying to pull a little too much there in the first at-bat. We'll see what he does here. Oh, goodness gracious. You'd have to walk for a couple seconds to reach that from home plate.
Well, that was a
That's
tough strike call there.
It's a tough strike call.
Even professionals make mistakes sometimes, right? So
They do. We're all fallible.
that's fouled off by Briggs for strike number 2.
Briggs, I'll feel this very similar to watching Briggs as I do when I watch Medor, where you feel like both of them, their body is coming away from the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
They're not stepping, like when you watch Keene up there, he's stepping right into it. Both Briggs and Medor, not so much.
And that could just be struggling too a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Gripping the bat a little too much,
that's baseball, right?
Yep.
It comes and goes for everybody.
Yep, he'll get a couple hits under his belt and things will start coming down for him. 2-1 here, the count. Sorry, 1-2, sorry. It's a strike 3 call, swing and strike. 2 runners left the board. Still 1-0 Ironbacks here as we go to the Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're for the top of the 5th inning. We got Ironbacks 1, Tarp Skunks 0. The real Brady at third base. Brady McGuire up to the bat for the Tarp Skunks.
I forgot to tell you something really exciting. So when I was looking through Jamestown, as I often do, look through these cities that I don't know and never
Of
been
course,
to.
of course.
And I was looking at, like, if I was in Jamestown and walking around, where would I stop? Where would I go? And I found a bar that actually had deep-fried mushrooms.
Ooh, Darren's favorite, deep fried mushrooms.
Deep-fried mushrooms, excited. They're very
There's a
hard to find.
dying breed in the
The
restaurant
world has
industry.
moved on and left me wanting deep-fried mushrooms.
That's right.
Well, they have them there, but its Google rating was 2.3, so I thought maybe I wouldn't mention.
Questionable
Yeah, it could be some questionable deep-fried
mushrooms, maybe. Could be
Yeah.
a little older than usual, maybe.
McGuire's been terrific in the field tonight. Made some really nice plays at third base.
It's a shot to center. Let's go to a drop. Could be extra bases right to the fence. He's going to keep going. He's on his horse. He's going to slide into third base for a leadoff triple here at the top of the 5th inning.
That was a really weird tracking by the outfielders on that one. I was watching Medor, and I almost thought, because I immediately thought that's in the gap, and that's
Yep.
going to be to the fence.
Yep.
Then I'm watching Medor, and he was moving as if he was going to like catch an easy fly ball.
Right,
So it
right.
was strange. It was a weird play.
You don't
Maybe
usually
just
see him in
got
right
crossed
field,
up
and
a
that
bit.
could be maybe what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Brady Marshall here, the shortstop. Single at his first at-bat.
That was a poke from Brady McGuire. These Brady's, they got them beside each other in the infield. They got them beside each other in the lineup.
That's right.
It's like inviting us to confuse them. But we will not do that anymore.
Not anymore.
No, we're on it. We're on the whole Brady scenario. Oh,
That's going to find a hole in the infield. That's going to bring the other Brady home. They get the Tarp Skunks on the board to tie things up here at 1.
first 2 batters up here tonight for in this inning, really on top of it.
That's right. That's right. And the first sign of trouble here for Catney Forbes in this ball game. He was humming along for 4 innings. The runner's going. Blake Herman fouls it off for strike 1. Herman flied out to second base, his first at-bat, top of the 2nd inning.
You can tell that Jamestown's pretty comfortable in the box right now.
Yep.
Like they're swinging from their heels right away. No hesitation.
Catney Forbes checks Marshall at first base. He's got a pretty sizable lead over there.
He looks a lot more comfortable with base runners tonight than he certainly did his first couple outings. Where
Definitely.
You could see him get a little bit unnerved.
Yeah, relax a little bit more, right? I think
Yeah.
maybe that pickoff earlier in the game give him a little bit of confidence that he can. Oh. Herman swings at that one. Strike two. And again, it looks like Marshall dancing over at first base.
He absolutely is. Our PA guy believes he's going to try to steal second base. So
There he goes. Strike three call. But a stolen base by Marshall.
John isn't right about these things all that often, but there he was. Let's give him credit. Tip of the hat.
It's going to be one out here with Eric
Nice
Weeks coming to
game.
the plate.
Now batting, second baseman number 6, Parrish Weeks.
He lined out to short his first at bat. Runner in scoring position here. Marshall now sits at second base after the stolen base. Watch out, hot dog stand. The ball's coming towards you.
Another thing you could do in Jamestown, you go to the Comedy Center, Jesse.
I do enjoy comedy.
There you go. Who doesn't enjoy comedy? This August, you could see Jon Stewart,
Ooh.
always on point, or Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers. It's like a musical thing there.
With the real Bill Murray?
The real Bill Murray.
Wow.
Bill Murray, yes. Yeah,
How
it's
about that?
True.
We may have to
Bouncing
take a
down
trip to Jamestown.
Yeah. They also have a special exhibit for good old Norman Lear. Yeah, you may remember.
Runner going again. Hot shot up the short. Shin's got it.
Nice.
Makes
scoop.
the play. Great scoop by Alec Keane there at first base, but does advance the runner Marshall to third base. Two out here.
Like, I never thought we would see that baseball again after the second hop. It slowed down so much and just got chewed up by the infield grass.
It did. It was an impressive scoop by Keane there to make that play.
And you could see how Shin got unnerved because suddenly that ball's just dying in front of him.
Definitely.
And you know the runner's hustling down the first baseline, and that's how you get a somewhat errant toss. And full credit to Keane for digging that one out. That was an
right.
excellent play by Keane.
The first base coach, though, was saying safe. However, Keane just made it there.
Was he? Well, that's the job of a first base coach.
It's going to be a grounder. The short could be trouble. Nice play to get out of the inning and keep the score. One in the run in the inning there. 1-1. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Tarp Skunks were able to get on the board last inning, making the score 1-1. But we got Devin Medor coming up. He flied out to left field his last at-bat.
That's a pretty contentious game of musical bases.
It definitely was. We got the rousing of the PA announcer cheering on the kids.
The press box was alive on that one. Very invested in who the winner would be there. For some reason, they're really against the dude in the red shirt.
Yeah. Poor kid, you know?
Yeah. He was cheating. Well, let's see how Medor does this time. He actually hit that fly ball pretty deep last time. Again, man, see the head flying off there, too.
Swings to that one, just a foul tip there for strike 2. Sun grazing over the field right now. Looks really, really nice.
That's pretty. That's a pretty moment here
It
at
is.
George Taylor Field. In the place where dreams come true, Merritt, Ontario.
Ball down low there by Barnett for 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'm just so glad the heat broke a little bit.
100%.
was
It was
tough.
getting really toasty in here.
That's
Foul
a good
ball.
pitch. Good pitch from Barnett.
Our request for the misting machine has not.
Yeah, we're not getting a
Happened yet.
misting machine anytime soon. Sadly.
We'll talk to our agents, and
Yeah. We were referred to as a talent earlier tonight.
we were.
So you
We
think
were.
as we could start our whole.
That's a nice poke by Medor. It's gonna be a base hit single.
There you go.
Way to fight it off there.
Now batting, center fielder number 27, Chase Hummel.
It's gonna be Chase Hubble up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 as he flied out the right field.
The old Johnny Cash God's gonna cut you down. Actually, and on my suggested playlist, Johnny Cash, I've Been Everywhere.
Ooh, good track.
Again, I mean, when will my playlist get a little love at this park? When?
Again, the talent is just disappointing here to my right. Medor getting a nice lead off at first. They're checking him again. Sun could cause some trouble if anything gets hit in the outfield.
And Medor's got 5 stolen bases, hasn't been caught stealing yet. Oh,
Shows
goodness.
bunt there. It's going to be strike 1 on Hubble. Interesting idea there with.
It didn't have the best pitch to work with. I don't know. It seems, and I'm surprised. A sacrifice bunt surprises me given the tenor of most of these games, but maybe they think tonight's going to continue to go the way it's gone so far.
The infield was playing a little deep. Maybe they're thinking catching everybody's kind of sleeping and maybe going for a
Yeah.
single to advance the runners there. 0-2 here on Hubble.
Yeah, who knew the day would wind its way here? I mean, it started off with like a ton of rain.
That's right. That's right.
We weren't sure if this game was even going to happen.
Medor going. They got him dead to rights there
That
at
was a pretty good
second
slide,
play.
but that was a good toss.
That was a great toss.
Yeah. Full credit to the catcher there, Delansky. Full value for that throw out.
Another foul ball there by Hubble.
That was a good pitch. For 2 strikes, that was a pretty good pitch, and he missed it.
Outside.
Yeah.
Ball 2.
Push that one up there.
It's
There
going
you
to
go.
even the count up
Close.
there. 3-2. Way to battle back by Chase Hubble.
Let's go Hubs, heard from the dugout.
Nice
There you
poke to the
go.
open gap there in left field. Base hit. Nice at bat. So we go back to the top of the order, and Carter Shin.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Carter Shin.
0 for 2 at the plate, but made a great play defensively last inning.
Yep. Yeah, yes, he's been probably their best hitter too. The most, I don't know if I'd say like best hitter, but the most consistent on the ball.
I was just going to say most consistent.
Most consistently competitive at the plate.
Yeah.
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 He was batting .359 coming into this game. He had 4 doubles, slugging .462.
Yeah, the last home game we did together on the weekend there, he got the Ironbacks started with that double.
A pinch hit double.
Yep.
Yeah. Coming in against the lefty. He was money. It's on
Lazy
the
fun ball could be
fist.
trouble. Great
Nice catch.
by Matthew Dumas.
That is a heck of a catch, no doubt. Sometimes you just tip your hat to the man.
Dumas just missed the one earlier in the game there. That was an excellent catch.
Yeah. Dumas of the Lake Sumter State College Lakehawks. He's from Lake City, Florida. Fun fact, Jesse, he can deadlift 3 times his own weight.
Wow. Anyways?
What's that?
Anyways?
I have no idea. Was I supposed to know that? I just took the fun facts. Why do you ask more questions? Just from his university bio. That's a heck of a catch, though.
Brock Granger up here, 0 for 2.
Oh, no.
Caught in a rundown. Hubble caught sleeping. That's going to end the inning there. Picked off again. That's 2 picked off and a stolen base in the 1 inning. Score still 1-1. We go to the top of the 6th.
This inning is sponsored by Fury Appliances. Proudly serving.
Here for the top of the 6th inning. It's 1-1, Tarp Skunks, Ironbacks. We got a new pitcher on the mound for the Ironbacks, Caleb Locatelli. Big crowd out tonight for Locatelli.
Yeah, from my hometown, Thorold, Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah.
Local product.
And there's few names that are going to be as Thorold as Locatelli. That's a good Thorold name.
Let's see if he makes Darren proud here.
It's your hometown now too, Jesse.
I guess you're right. It is my hometown. Make us both proud. Just a little upstairs there for ball 1. Matthew Dumas made an excellent catch in center field last inning, up to the plate.
It always makes you nervous.
Ooh, into the hands, grounded to Bishop.
Look at Andrew Bishop at second base.
He's looking like a second baseman.
What a relationship that's turning into. It's a feel-good love story out there at second base between a man in his new position.
Wow.
Andrew Bishop. He's looking good. He's looking smooth.
He's looking real good. You're right.
Can't be the
Questionable base
first-
running, but
But we're going back some games. I think it's
Okay.
unfair for us to bring that, lug it, drag it from the past, and put it into the present.
okay.
Let's let the present be the present.
Okay. Good strike there.
You know, that fastball sounds a little heavier than any of the fastballs we've heard so far tonight. Just audio-wise. There you go. Oh, man, that got pinched. I would say unfairly pinched. Now it's the Thorold guy pitching. I feel like deeply more invested.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah,
So
I see. You're
I
hunched over.
I've
you're-
lost my objectivity.
Yeah.
I'm really going to be.
You're hunched over. You're paying attention.
What do you mean that's not a strike?
He's going to march down there and talk to that professional umpire right now. What's a strike to Mador in right field, but an easy under it for out number 2. And he's making quick work of the Tarp Skunks here in the 6th inning.
Nice job by Locatelli so far. Keeping up with the theme of just making quick work of batters.
That's right, but we got the heart of the order coming up here, Jacob Haynes.
He's
up
also
at
got
bat.
the knee-high socks going on, which we're a fan of.
We
also
are
like
the
old
fan.
school
Don't
look.
see many of them at all, actually, on the Ironbacks. So Haynes, 1 for 2 today. Singled in the first inning, was picked off by the starter, Katney Forbes.
Pickoffs being kind of a theme today.
It has. It has. First pitch down low for ball 1.
Locatelli actually, Thorold High School. Thorold High School graduation is tomorrow, I believe.
Ooh, nice pitch for strike 1.
There you go. That was a little wrinkle. Keeping him honest at the plate.
Ooh,
Came right back with it. Nice.
smart idea. Strike 2.
And we are, as we mentioned, in the tough part of the order. Smith, Haynes, Bremer.
It'd be good if you get out of this inning here unscathed.
Yeah.
Build
they
some
can make you
confidence
pay.
going up to that Bremer at bat next inning.
Yeah, and you don't want somebody on when Bremer comes up.
Exactly. Down low for ball 2. Ooh, that was a close pitch.
Ooh, it hurt me inside. I
Local
really-
Thorold Darren
really
Clark
thought-
hurts
I
inside.
do. I really thought that got the
It's going to bring
top
a
of the
full
zone.
count
Fair
here
enough.
to Haynes.
Good men can disagree about such things.
Poke to right. Go to get out of play, though, for foul. Count still full. It's a shot to Mador in right, but he's under it for out number 3. Great
Nice.
inning by Locatella. 1, 2, 3 go the Tarp Skunks. The top of the 6th inning. It's game still 1-1. we're back here for the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 1-1 between the Tarp Skunks and the Ironbacks.
It feels like a fever dream. Like all this heat has brought me into a place like I've passed out, and suddenly we're at a baseball game that's flying along at speed of sound.
It is
1-1, good pitching, good fielding.
You're right.
Maybe not
And
the best
finally,
base running, but
great weather.
yeah.
It is a beautiful evening now.
Yeah.
I did forewarn you, around 7 o'clock, it does drop in temperature.
You forewarned, no doubt.
Brock Granger up here. He's 0 for 2.
For some reason, I got it in my head tonight that I was thinking of Canadian music. You've got the eyes of a stranger, but you got the eyes of a Granger.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually.
What's the name of the band that did that again?
Ah. boy.
Violas.
Oh, nice
Good old Canadian music. Again, that would be on my playlist.
nice shutout.
Get some
I
CanCon
think-
going on. Another. I will have a hot dog, Melrose man. Thank you. I was gonna mute my mic, but I don't mind if the world knows that I really want a hot dog right now. I'm kinda
Challenge of the hot dog, Derringer. Game's going so quickly, you won't even be able to eat it.
yeah.
Ooh, that's a strike 3
That
call
was a
there on
generous
Granger.
strike, but that's fair. That was right on the line there. Another I Love Lucy fact, by the way, since we're talking about Jamestown and what have you. William Frawley, who was Lucy and Desi's neighbor in the show I Love Lucy, Fred Mertz, was a devout baseball fan and had it written into his contract that he did not have to work when the Yankees were in the World Series, which they were in 1951, 1952, 53, 56, 58. The Fred Mertz character was actually written out of 2 episodes so that he could attend Yankees games.
I was going to say, they were probably in the World Series quite often back when I Love Lucy was on TV.
Back when I Love Lucy was huge, yeah.
That's a fact I could use. Not like the skunk facts.
Exactly.
Marcus Butts up here.
Did you
0
know
for
that a
2.
group of skunks is known as a surfeit? Sorry, Jesse, I cut you off just because I didn't like him talking the way he was about skunks facts.
What is it? A skunk is called what?
A group of skunks is called a surfeit. It's interesting. They eat wasps and honeybees, will often attack beehives. True story. They also are immune to snake venom. Skunks are known to eat poisonous snakes. There's a lot of skunk facts for you.
And now we got all the skunk facts out of the
Sorry.
way. Marcus Butts is lined out to short for the second out of the inning.
Sorry for those of you that would have
We did want to
pertinent
educate
baseball
everyone on
information.
skunks, so we felt that was appropriate at this juncture of the game here. It is the 6th inning. Darren was worried he wouldn't get all his Jamestown facts in before the game was over.
Exactly. I pretty much got him in now. We could just talk about the baseball game now.
I'm sure more will come.
I had some tarp facts, but tarp facts aren't that interesting, really.
Well, I guess
I mean,
we're
tarp facts are essentially at some point in time somebody thought, it's really wet out here. Wouldn't it be great if we had something to cover us? That was about the 17th century. And then from there on, everybody was like, yeah, that is a pretty cool idea. Let's use this.
yeah, smart guy.
There's all you need to know about tarps.
I'm going to keep hanging out with that guy. He's smart.
Yep.
Alex Keane up. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Playing a good first base today, though.
Yeah, and again, he's been look good at the plate. Ooh, good count, but missed that pitch. Was a little on his hands. Barnett out here. You know what? I don't think we've given him his due today.
We have not. He's
No.
battled. He's looked good. 3
Yeah.
strikeouts on the day.
He's been excellent, and the common denominator between the pitchers today, I think, has been competitive pitches.
Yep.
There's been very few non-competitive pitches, and that's kind of been a problem sometimes in other games where, Ironbacks have gotten into trouble based on that.
It's a poke to center, but that's going to be
Missed that
easy
one.
work for Dumas. 1, 2, 3 go the Ironbacks in the 6th. Score still 1-1. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back here for the top of the 7th inning. Score is 1-1, Jamestown and Niagara. We got Justin Bremner up to plate here.
Caleb Locatelli going into his 2nd inning of work. Had a nice, tight 3 up, 3 down inning last time.
He looked real good, making Thor proud.
He did.
Bremner using a new bat this inning. Going with the baby blue.
Yeah, from the pink to the baby blue. We're real dialed into the details here.
Well,
You can't fool us.
that's what we're up here for.
Don't try and change your bat mid-game like we won't notice what color your bat
We
is.
can't figure out who's playing third and short, but we got your bat
Yeah,
color.
Exactly.
Ooh, just late on that one there. Let's go to even the count 1-1.
Yeah, Bremer hasn't found his best self so far today, but that was certainly a step in the right direction.
Ooh,
Nice pitch, nice little wrinkle.
so good. The back catcher last Basque.
And Bremer takes a step back, a little motion for himself to take it easy, relax, find the equilibrium. What was it that Kevin Costner said in the baseball movie? Reset the mechanism?
Yeah,
Clear the mechanism.
that's right.
You
Yeah.
just cleared the mechanism
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
That's
Just
what
throw
happened.
strikes. Just throw strikes.
Well, Bremer's doing it as a hitter. I don't know if it works for a hitter.
They're checking out on the catcher there.
So what's going on with the catcher?
Well, the ball came in and knocked his mask off. I think he got the ball in the face. Maybe just clean up a little bit of dirt or
Oh,
debris.
no way.
Maybe got a little scrape there in his face.
All right. Connor Gatens, that's a shame. He's been great. He's been had a terrific night.
He has a graphic night.
I think the one negative so far for the Ironbacks, the base running.
The base running.
The base running has been a bit of
A questionable.
I was about to say debacle, but that felt a little too grandiose.
Yeah. Let's just go with
Questionable?
questionable decisions out there in the
We
base
have
pass.
some questions.
Some questions. We probably don't have the answers, but we got lots of questions.
Yeah, and and we were talking earlier about how great, how solid Chase Hubble's been out in center field.
Yep.
On the base pass, maybe a little bit of a different. I think he's still feeling it out there.
Yeah. He's just, the attempt, the ideas are there to try to get in scoring position, right? I think the one thing that's been maybe dogging the Ironbacks here in the early season is just trying to get in scoring position to cash in some runs.
This has been a nice game. If you're a fan, you came here, the world cooled down for you.
That's been a big help. I think it's kept the fans here. The
Yeah,
fact that
good
temperatures
defense.
dropping, game's been close and been entertaining.
Yeah, a couple fabulous plays. It's been quick. There hasn't been, the wide variety of kind of, oh my goodness, what is happening here?
Except for
things.
the keg roll, but
Yeah. But we'll see how this impacts Locatelli. And if we mentioned Bremer was trying to clear the mechanism, get himself back on the good foot there internally, he had lots of time to do it. So we'll see what happens here. The last pitch was a little bit of a curveball. See what he tries now.
ooh, just outside for ball 2.
Just outside.
Good idea.
Yep.
Ooh. Just over the head of Alex Keene.
Man,
That's gonna be a
Bremer didn't
base
even
hit.
believe in that ball. He didn't. He stood at home plate watching that all the way over Keene's glove.
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't a believer at all. But you don't have to believe sometimes.
That's
You got a
right.
single.
Puts runner at first base for Nathan Borshed. 0 for 2 today. A runner on here.
From batting 300 coming into the game. 6 doubles. They've been real aggressive on the base pass. See if they continue that.
It's a nice pitch by Locatella for strike 1.
Bremer's actually stolen 5 bases in 6 attempts. He's playing it cool that time, and it could be, just a lull him to sleep a bit, more aggressively now.
Ooh.
Oh, you can see Locatelli's wise to the game there in first.
They've done a good job of keeping the runners at bay here for Jamestown. Something that usually other teams kind of run wild a little bit on the Ironbacks. Runners going though, shot in the right field. Strong arm by Mador.
Oh my goodness, he got that right in the face. Yes, that hit him in the head. That was a great toss by Mador. But boy, it looked to me like Granger took that right in the chops.
Maybe the sun a little bit in his eyes coming in there from right field. That's going to put runners at the corners here for Brady McGuire.
Well, the shadows of the press box are over top of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that the sun wouldn't be blinding the third baseman on a throw from the right fielder.
Okay, Darren.
Sorry.
Fact checking.
I was fact checking.
We got to get our facts
I was
right.
deducing. I got on my protractor. I was figuring things out. Let's see if
McGuire tripled his last at bat.
None out. Locatelli under a little bit of stress here. McGuire again's been terrific at third base. And that was a big poke last at bat.
Ooh, well, sweet chin music there for ball 3.
It's a great opportunity for young guys like Locatelli to face really high-level talent. Nice pitch. I'd see that fight right back. That was a really good pitch on 3-0. Real crispness to his pitches.
He's got some loud snap there in the glove. It hits the catcher's mitt.
Oh, bases are drunk.
Right, McGuire takes the walk. It's
The back-to-back Brady's.
It's actually the first walk of the day the Ironbacks have given up.
Wow, that's remarkable.
That is impressive.
Out comes Hall of Famer Richard Griffin.
Wow.
Not just, the Canadian Hall of Fame there in St. Mary's, Ontario, but the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown as well.
That is impressive. I wonder how many people are in both Hall of Fames.
Yeah. That's a great question. Locatelli gets a cheer as he comes off the field. He did well. I thought he pitched well.
I thought he pitched real well. We got a little bit of trouble here, and they're going to go to the bullpen. Yep. We'll have who's coming in for you in just a moment.
There's on my playlist, I almost put on a song by Camera Obscura called The World is Full of Strangers, which is an excellent song, just if somebody wants to hear an excellent song. But that could be the theme song for today because up until 10 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, I'd never heard of Caleb Locatelli.
You're right.
So that was a new thing, and I'm glad I got to meet him. Do we know who's coming into the game right now?
We are working on that, Darren. Can't.
Because it could be another...
Back here at the top of the 7th inning. Jamestown's got the bases loaded. We got a new pitcher on the mound, Ryan Stubbs. into the game.
Came into another round of rousing applause here at George Taylor Field in downtown Merritton.
He's got some fans in the stands for sure.
He does. He's from Caledonia, Ontario. He plays in Jamestown. The Jamestown connections are fast and furious here. We have a couple players play for the Niagara Ironbacks who actually play in Jamestown College there. I believe he's also involved with Bulletproof Baseball, like Locatelli, which is a local kind of baseball program, I believe, run out of Welland. So it's awesome to see that relationship continue to bloom between Bulletproof Baseball and the Niagara Ironbacks. This is quite the precarious situation to come into. Oh, man.
That looked like a strike from here.
That did look like a strike.
They got Brady Marshall up here. He singled and stole a base. Singled in the second.
Here's a story of a batter named Brady.
Oh, that's going to get down and could be trouble. They're going to hold off the runner, but they got him caught dead their rights there. No one's at first base. And that's still going to leave the bases loaded here, but a runner does score.
Man, only one run came in on that.
Run came in because he held the third baseman, and then no one was covering first.
That was a lot of action in that.
Still no out.
Well, when we started this game, we talked about this is team's second in the league in batting average, first in slugging percentage. They've been really quiet through 6. They've woken up now. And seeing the strike zone get a little bit tight can't be helping the Ironbacks right now. We're trying to keep this thing within reach.
Another strike to left field. Briggs under it. Makes the catch, but the runner's going to tag from third. That's going to bring the score to 3-1 for the Tarp Skunks.
Yeah.
Second baseman number 6, Eric Weeks.
They got one out. Runners on first and third. Really trying to keep this thing within reach, coming to the bottom of the 7th. Two Brady's causing trouble. Those two Brady's, nothing but trouble.
Causing us trouble, causing the Ironbacks trouble.
Yeah.
Whew.
Goodness. Didn't quite manage that one. Real difference between that overhand curve or slider and the fastball. Like, I think it's something that the hitters can pick up on pretty quick.
There's a strike there. Eric Weeks at the plate, 0 for 2 today.
Modest lead there on first base. There he goes, though. Yeah, you can't.
Double steal. Safe. Runner comes from third base. Scores. Going to bring it to 4-1 for the Tarp Skunks. And that's a stolen base.
And it
by
was
Marshall.
a change-up. The runner had a great jump. Like, it wasn't the greatest lead, but he took off way early in the windup. So probably a decent argument for maybe hanging on to that ball. There's another, man. They are getting
way
some
up
air
there.
on these fly balls.
Briggs under it, though, to make
Some
the catch
travel time.
for out number 2.
4-1 for the Tarp Skunks.
Eddie Delansky up.
Delansky's been good behind the plate.
He has been good. 0 for 2 at the plate, though.
Delansky with a really interesting touch-up of the dirt in front of home plate.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what that was about. Perhaps that's an individual superstition. He's right on top of the plate.
Whew.
He got busted inside in that first pitch. Cooley just let it pass by, though. He was undisturbed by that.
Just a bit outside for ball 2. Marshall having a big lead off of second base. Ooh.
And it's what we talked earlier about competitive versus non-competitive pitches, and there's been kind of non-competitive-ish pitches. They're so far off the plate that they doesn't have to think too hard.
In the dirt. That's ball 4. It's going to be the second walk of the inning here for the Tarp Skunks, and it's going to bring center fielder Matthew Dumas up to plate.
Probably the best play of the game so far today.
Right, that beautiful dive in center field.
Full credit to him. And that brisk pace from earlier is now just a memory.
That's right, 2 runners on here, 2 out. Let's see if Stubbs can get out of the inning. Balk. Let's go to advance the runners off the balk.
Take the umpire at his word there. I'm not sure. I didn't catch it either, but I wasn't really looking. But here comes Richard Griffin. He's got different feelings altogether. He will not take the umpire so much at his word. He's pointing towards the catcher. Arms now spread wide. I'm in 2 Hall of Fames. I don't see how that was. If a guy who's in 2 Hall of Fames questions your call, maybe you reconsider.
Oh, they just threw him out.
No way.
I guess the umpire didn't like what Griffin had to say, and he just threw him out.
That's the first time we saw that.
Wow. Richard Griffin, the manager for the Ironbacks, showed a little emotion there, and he gets tossed out of the game.
A little drama. He doesn't seem impressed by it.
Stand up for his team, though.
Now the pitching coach is out there. Wow. What do you know? But you know, these hot days, right?
Yeah. Trying to stand up for his team there, trying to keep them in the game.
Stubbs
let the umpire know he wasn't happy with his call.
1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
I wonder if Richard Griffin thinks the umpire is being professional right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what took place there, but hey, you know, it's fair. I always find when managers get really upset with umpires, I always think, do you know you're getting really angry and you're wearing pajamas right now? Do you know what I mean? I mean, like, it always seems.
You can't get angry and wear pajamas?
Oh.
That's a strike to center field. That could be trouble and score another run here. Round in third, comes in to score easily. Delansky scores 6-1 Tarp Skunks here in the top of the 7th inning.
0-2 count. 0-2 count. You probably.
Yep, it's going to bring the top of the order again. Nolan Smith up.
Yeah.
You really hope that you can try to get out of that inning without having to go back to the top of the order here. That's a strike to Hubble in center, but he's under it. And that's going to end the inning. But the damage is done. The Tarps are going to score 5 runs to make the score 6-1 here as you go to the bottom of the 7th. we're back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. It was a tough inning, last one there, Darren, the top half.
It was tough for our hot dogs.
Especially tough for our hot dogs.
Especially tough for the hot dogs once again. And tough for the Ironbacks.
And the Ironbacks. Tarp Skunks got 5 runs last inning to make the score 6-1 here. We got Connor Gatens up to the plate. Let's see if he can get on base here. He's 2 for 2 today. It's going to be a strike called even up the
He's
count.
been terrific today. Again, like a lot of credit to Easton Barnett, who I think we didn't talk up that much, and I think I even just said doesn't seem like he's doing a ton out there, but he's
been effective.
Mowed him down.
He's been effective. We're here in the 7th inning, and he's still working a one-run game.
And you know, we talked about being competitive pitches. He's been competitive the whole game.
That's right.
He's forced them to hit the ball, and they haven't been able to hit the ball enough.
No.
And it's kind of been a thing that, like, we've been here for all the home games.
Mm-hmm.
When they scored runs, a lot of it has been walks. You know, and a little bit of help from walks and different things.
Yep.
Tonight was an opportunity to really step up
and open up the game a little bit,
Yep.
right? And they've had their opportunities. You know, there's another one. 3 for 3 today for Connor Gatens, getting on base again.
Gatens has been a monster today. It's all about Connor Gatens today. I'm going to tell you a little something, too. This is a baseball game, and there's certain people in this press box who are maybe giving up pretty recently. And it's a baseball game. There's lots of time to come back. And this is the real heart of the order.
That's right. Andrew Bishop coming up. He's got a 2 for 2 as well with an RBI.
Yeah, combined Gatens and Bishop thus far are 5 for 5. You got to believe, John. You got to believe. Oh,
Ooh.
in on the hands again. See the foul ball horns up. It's ready.
That's right. He hasn't given up.
It never concedes.
Well, down the third
Oh,
base.
tough hop and everything. Well played.
Just
That's
off
just
the
gonna
line
be
there.
one, though.
Fielder's choice.
Brady McGuire has been excellent at third base tonight. That was a really tough hop.
That was it bounced on missed the last
Yeah,
second. He's
the
making
last
that play.
hop was the
He's
toughest
still able
one.
to get off the second base, but just not in time to turn the double play.
really good arm too. Bishop on with the fielder's choice.
Let's bring Grayson Briggs to plate. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout.
You know, when we talk about the Leafs and we're talking about their playoffs, we're like, you need more out of their bottom 6. And I think for the Ironbacks, you're looking for a little something from where you haven't got a whole lot of something.
Definitely
so
the
far.
bottom half of the order there.
Yeah.
Really trying to turn this back over to the top again here.
And I think, as I said, you see the possibilities with somebody like Briggs, and you'd love to see Briggs start getting tuned in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Shadows now creeping into the outfield. Still a gorgeous night here
It
at
is
George
incredible.
Taylor Field.
Poke, but right to Matthew Dumas for the second out of the inning.
It's a better at bat.
Better at bat, but hit right in the area of Matthew Dumas, who's been just sensational in the outfield for the Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, makes a lot of those plays look easy.
He does.
No.
Chase Hubble up. Singled his last at bat, was picked off at first base.
Tavon
Mador, my mistake, who was singled and caught stealing his last at bat.
Yes. You know, in fairness to Medora, because I always talk about him pulling off the ball a little bit, that is the way he bats to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
He just pulls that left foot out a bit, and that's, you know.
It's going to be a pop up to the first baseman who's under it. That's going to be the third out. And that's going to bring the score still 6-1 for the Tarp Skunks as we go to the top of the 8th inning. We're back here at George Taylor Field. It is 6-1 Jamestown Tarp Skunks over the Niagara Ironbacks. We got a new pitcher on the mound, Brad Alexander. Darren, we've seen him a couple times here.
We have. Do you like curveballs? Because you're about to see a whole lot of them, and they can be very nice.
They can be very nice. He also can get a little away from him at times and get himself into trouble. So
he can. I mean, his ERA is kicking in over 14. And I really feel like he has way more to offer than what a 14 point whatever ERA would offer. I'd check exactly what it is, but it's 14 something. So, man, that overhand curve is a dandy. I just feel like the fastball needs to be a bigger part of the repertoire.
Definitely, definitely. But that curveball is a thing of beauty. Just upside for ball one.
What in the world sounds am I hearing? Okay, it's 1 and 2. There you go.
3, great.
There you go, perfect.
Excellent.
Just changed speeds up and a buddy way ahead of it.
That's right. First K of the game for Brad Alexander is going to bring the ever dangerous Justin Bremner with another back to the pink bat.
Back to the pink bat.
Which is interesting considering he just singled with the blue bat.
Baby blue bat just sitting there thinking, what did I do wrong?
That's right.
What did I do wrong?
That's
I got
right.
you on base. You scored a run. You started off an epic inning. And that's Justin Bremer with quite the rebuttal statement there. Look at that.
Yeah, I'll show you my pink bat.
Exactly.
Singles to left on the first pitch. Nathan Borchardt up to bat. He is 1 for 3 today.
Alexander out of Ridgefield, Connecticut. Big fan of skiing, Vermont. brisket sandwiches. His father got him into baseball, which is kind of a common refrain.
Just down low for ball one.
Bremer's pretty aggressive on the base pass. He had 5 stolen bases, as we mentioned earlier. Coming into the game, took off last time, but
Snap throw again, trying to catch him off first base. Counts 2-0 for Beauchard. That curveball got away from Alexander there. Going to be 3-0.
by the way, I started to mention earlier at the National Comedy Center there in Jamestown, they actually have a special exhibit for Norman Lear. You may remember Norman Lear from All in the Family. Sanford and Son, classic. Good Times, Maud. Mary Hartman. And actually, it's kind of interesting because Jamestown is the home of the voting machine. And Norman Lear was quite an advocate for voting.
Oh.
So it's a happy marriage there.
There goes the runner, but he's going to take ball 4, and that's going to put runners at first and second here with no out.
And that's it. That's the last bit of Jamestown trivia that I have.
Sorry
Gone
for
in, Gone in 60 Seconds was filmed there, or a bit of it.
sorry fans who are looking for more Jamestown information. But we dried up here.
That might be it.
We
Maybe
still
I
got
got something else that I'll
We
remember.
still got an inning and a half to go. Ever dangerous Brady McGuire tripled, walked, stole a base.
Have we got to the
Two
the
runs
two Brady
scored.
part of the lineup?
We've got
Always
to
dangerous.
double Brady's here.
Here's a story of some infielders named Brady
Brady's had himself a day though, so
who were hitting and fielding very well.
whew. That curveball goes just upstairs for ball 1.
And there's where Alexander gets in a little bit of trouble. Starts pacing around the mound a little bit. Glove comes off, glove goes back on. There goes.
Runner's going again. Remner steals third base. It's going to put runners at the corners.
How about that? Comes into the game with a 554 slugging percentage and steals the 6th and 7th bases.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Nice pitch with Alexander there. 3-1 the count.
Infield's playing back. They're holding the runner on first. So they're looking for the double play.
That's a high strike to foul territory. Keen's under it. Just can't get their way out. They're opening the gates for him, giving him a little extra run room.
Was that Richard Griffin over there? Look at Richard Griffin got kicked out of the game, and now he's decided to work the gate behind the dugout.
He's put a new uniform on. He's
Yeah.
incognito out there in right field.
He's like, I can't go. I can't just leave. Somebody's got to work this gate.
He's pulling a Bobby Valentine, I think. And runner's going, takes another walk. It's going to load the bases again.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's back-to-back walks here for Alexander in the 8th. And the other dangerous Brady up to the plate here, Brady Marshall.
Think of the
3 singles today, 3 for 3, 2 stolen bases.
Look at the old the book, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, and it feels like, Alexander's reached that. Like he quickly sort of devolves into the unbearable lightness of being a pitcher.
Yep.
And I feel like it's just a mental thing.
Well, it definitely has to be a little bit mental. I've never pitched, but I know Just by the thought
Well,
process.
it's easy to get in your head.
That's
it's
right.
so easy to get in your
That's
head
right.
out there. You know, and especially because finding that slot where everything feels perfect and fine can be a very elusive animal, and it can change in a heartbeat, right?
That's
and I
right.
feel like when I'm watching him, though, he gets himself out of that.
Yep.
Just by thinking too much, worrying too much. Just trust your stuff, man. You got a really nice curveball. Throw that curveball. Throw your fastball.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what you mentioned. He has to do a little bit more off of, right? Is playing off the curveball and showing some other pitches
Yeah,
there, right?
and again, this is amateur pitching coach hour for me, but haven't seen him. What is this? 3 or 4 times now.
Yep.
That's a sweet curveball. That's tough after all of that to throw a really nice curveball and have it treated so poorly by the umpire. All right, that's the end
Foul
of the bat.
ball.
There you go. Foul ball horn. Way behind.
The Heat's getting to the ball horn.
Yeah. This game is close to being in a really bad spot.
Ooh, ball gets away from the catcher there. It's going to bring another run home.
What are you calling that? Wild pitch?
I'd say wild pitch.
I think wild pitch too.
Runners at second and third here, 1 out. Brady Marshall still at the plate.
The inning started nice. If we go back a few batters.
Three won the count here on Marshall. Just foul down the right field line. Just gonna run the count full.
See, for me, it's like attack the inside of the part of the plate a little bit more with that fastball
Mm-hmm.
and throw your curve.
That's gonna be a poke to right field and get down for a base hit. 2 runners coming in. Strong throw of a door, but not in time. Doesn't touch the plate. That's going to bring 2 more runs home to make it 9-1. Blake Kerman up at the bat. 0 for 3 today. Poke to center field. Hubble rushing. That's going to drop for a single for Blake Kerman. First pitch swinging.
Baseball can be so cruel. You know, that ball is at the end of the bat.
Right.
And then it just even when they're doing something bad, it goes good.
Yeah.
You know.
That might explain why the Tarp Skunks got such good batting statistics, right?
Yeah.
Slugging, batting average. They're just finding the holes in the field and making the Ironbacks pay here. Still 1 out. 2 on. Eric Weeks up to the bat. 0 for 3 today.
Now batting pitch hitter number 29.
The Brady's have had quite
Pitch
a
hit.
day. Have they got out today? Yeah, once. Marshall's 4 for 4 today. Man, they've been something.
We got a pitch hitter for the Tarp Skunks. Joaquin Rodriguez coming in for Eric Weeks. Ball down the dirt again. That hit the batter, actually. It's going to load the bases yet again.
Joaquin Rodriguez Costa out of Harbison, Delaware. He's committed to Delaware this year, this April. Bases loaded again. Still only one out.
Eddie Delancey up to the plate here. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. A run scored. He scored in that big 7th inning by the Tarp Skunks. Big swing and a miss there for strike one. That's the second balk of the game here for the Ironbacks. And let's go to advance the runners to second and third. One out.
Ooh, daddy.
Runners back in scoring position here.
I wish I had more Jamestown facts at times like
I
these.
told you not to run through them so quickly. I warned you.
Yeah, well, the game was coasting along. Everything looked so promising. It's like, I better get this Lucille Ball fact in
There's
there.
always
before,
time
you know?
for Lucille Ball of facts.
Yeah. I do know, I actually got the cost, in case you're interested, for you, Danette, and Penelope to go. $43.50 American.
Wow.
And what you can see there, Jesse, is a recreation of the original TV show set, some scripts from the show, props, costumes, rarely seen footage of the show. Again, all just for $43.50 American.
What's that equate to Canadian?
I don't know. What do you think? $43.50.
What's the rate today?
60 cents is like 60 cents on a dollar, right? So it's pretty pricey. It's pretty pricey.
I may pass on that for now.
So yeah.
That's a
So
post
it's
to
probably,
left
I'd say, about
field.
$75 Canadian.
Briggs is under it. Bishop calls him off, and nobody makes the catch.
Goodness.
That one's going to drop and score another run.
Oh,
Hubble
man.
calls off Briggs there, but couldn't make the catch. That scores another run. Again, puts runners at.
Oh, goodness gracious. Don't really know what to
First
say
and
at
third.
this point.
For Matthew Dumas up. He singled and had an RBI his last at bat in that big run scoring 7th. It's been 2 big innings here, the 7th and 8th, that's really just busted this game wide open.
Yeah. And good for you continuing to keep score, because I stopped.
Well, someone's got to keep track of what's
Yes,
going
exactly.
on.
Well, thank you, Jesse.
You keep working
I'm an emotional person.
You keep
and
working on Jamestown facts, and I'll keep keeping score.
We could go for some Thorold facts.
We could be going for Thorold facts in honor of Caleb Locatella.
Caleb Locatelli.
You can tell us some Thorold facts.
Thorold facts, yeah. I actually grew up in Queen Street South in Thorold.
Okay.
It was a cool thing. There was a pop company called Mio Pop when I was a child. They would deliver pop.
Okay.
And the truck have this kind of, it had this big high thing in the middle, and then there was spots on an angle where you could sit. And that's where they'd load all the cases. But as kids, they'd let us actually sit there because, you know, it was 70s and you could do anything that might kill a child, and nobody cared.
Nobody cares.
Right? But we'd just drive all over Thorold first thing in the morning, right on there, looking up at the trees and the shadow passing by in the summertime. It was a wonderful
Wow.
thing.
Sounds
It was a
pretty,
little Thorold fact.
pretty nice.
I actually got run over by a horse and buggy in Thorold too.
Again,
Sure.
talking about killing kids in the 70s, I guess.
Because there was, I think it delivered orange juice or something like that, and we could take rides on it, and I just fell off.
How about that? A horse and buggy
Coordination.
downtown Thorold.
Yeah.
Back to the game. It's 1-1. Sorry, 2-1 to count.
Thorold's a nice little town, though. We're kind of lucky. We forget around here, right? We got the canal. We got Niagara
Strike
Falls.
3 call.
We got an out.
Big curveball. We got it out. Dumas caught looking there for the second out of the inning. Base is still on the corners. Up the top of the order, Nolan Smith singled. He's 2 for 5 today.
Man. This is like, yeah, this was some kind of, they just stepped on the gas here in the 7th inning and went.
That's right. They heard Darren
Warp-
saying he wanted to get out of here in time for dinner, and they decided
Yeah.
to put up some runs on the board.
His warp
Our PR guy
speed.
was talking about going extra innings, and they said, no, thank you.
Yeah, do you remember that? Do you remember that, John?
Yeah.
Extra innings.
John was giving up. Our PR guy was...
We'll never get home. We'll be trapped here forever. Does anybody have any brown beans in a can? And that was...
The Tarp Skunks heard that, and they said, okay, John, we'll help you out.
Yeah, we'll get you home.
We'll put some runs on the board here for you. And I was only asking for 2 or 3. They decided to score.
Yeah, that's something. They really just completely stepped on the
9.
gas.
Lazy fly ball to right field. That's going to
Oh,
drop and score another run
goodness.
here.
There was some do-si-doing going on out there in right field from Adore, who's not really looked comfortable out there in right field.
He's had his challenges out there today for sure.
Who do you guys have?
11-1, top of 8. It's still a beautiful summer night. It's still baseball.
Nothing better than baseball in the summertime.
Exactly. Life can't be too bad. I think if we had a nice cold morning star,
Cream ale.
cream ale. Well,
A beautiful summer day.
yeah.
I think I might need a few cold cream ales brought to you by DQ Falls after this one.
Yeah.
I'll trust you because I'm only doing 2 jobs here. When we make our comeback,
That's it, man. It's the land of tough body language right now, and looking over the Ironbacks in the field, having a competitive game against a really good team, and then the wheels came off.
That
There you
one,
go.
nice.
Andrew Bishop,
Andrew
though.
Bishop, the second baseman, making the play.
Stellar.
He says, I'll get you guys out of this inning. But the damage has been done there as the Tarp Skunks lead the Ironbacks 12-1. We go to the bottom. We're back here at George Taylor Field. It is 11-1 Tarp Skunks over the Ironbacks after 2 huge innings in the 7th and 8th. We got a new pitcher in for the Tarp Skunks, Mark Holm. Darren, what can you tell us about Mark Holm?
Well, he played for Niagara Collegiate College this year. He pitched 17 innings for them. averaged 9.17 strikeouts per game. Just looking for his ERA here. Kind of caught me off guard, Jesse. It's interesting that it tells me all the stats except that. But this year for the Tarp Skunks, we'll just move away from the internet, which is I'm not getting along with. He's pitched 6 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 9 walks. ERA 0 though. So it's been an adventurous 6 2/3 for him, but he
seems to have been effective, not allowing a run.
who am I say?
Chase Hubble up here. He is 1 for 2 today. The single. That's right at the second baseman for out number 1. In the top of the order, Carter Sheehan up to that. 0 for 3 today.
Niagara County Community College is not a fan of showing ERA. Whip, you want to know his whip? It's 1.25. You want to know his ERA? There'd have to be some calculation.
That's a shot to short. Easy play for
That was close play. Nice play by Brady
Brady
there.
Marshall. 2 outs here.
The Bradys have been pretty much flawless on either side of the ball.
Now batting, third baseman, number 20, Brock
Granger
Granger.
0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts.
This will be it, right? I believe the mercy rule is 10 runs
After the 7th
after
inning.
the 7th, so the Ironbacks are
At Jet
leaning
Liberty
on the
here.
verge.
Getting it. Mercy ruled. It's been a couple times here in the last few weeks where they've got the mercy rule done.
Yeah, man, it was sudden today.
It was sudden.
Didn't even think about it.
We look back at the beginning of this game, Catney Forbes is just humming along. And a catch by the
Nice
first
catch.
baseman, Nolan Smith. Let's go to be the game here. The Tarp Skunks beat the Ironbacks 11-1.
Well, nice job, Jesse. Zach, thank you very much.
We'll be
see
back
you
here
guys
on
this Friday.
Friday.